Hi guys, this is Dharam Singh, and today I've invited my friend, my previous student, and somebody very learned person from Italy. He is living in Rome, Italy, for many years. I think he was born there and got up there, and he has worked in the industry as a project program portfolio manager for many years, and he's working for a corporate, big corporate, and also teaching, training, and I'm very fortunate to have him in this session. So welcome, Vincenzo.
Thank you, Dharam. It's really a pleasure to be here. We have been talking a lot about promoting the PgMP certification in Europe and Italy, and for me this is a great pleasure to be with you today.
Great. Yeah. So as we all know, the PgMP is getting popularity in Europe, but now I think Italy got how many PgMP we have?
17.
17 PgMP. So it's a respectable number, but it's not the number we like to see. Like it should be having by this time 50 or 100, maybe more. So with this collaboration between myself and Vincenzo, and I'm also collaborating with other people to get the PgMP more popular in Europe. So it will be great to see more and more people getting this certificate, and so here I invited Vincenzo to talk about a topic, very burning topic. So last time when I was talking with Thomas Valente from Germany, we start talking about the PgMP, importance of program management in the waterfall as well as Agile. So many people are working in Agile. Agile is a hot area at the moment. So Agile is a great way to get the work done faster. And especially when you're running multiple Scrum teams, that's where we talk about having, Scrum of Scrum or a PgMP experience or certificate. So Vincenzo, I have a question for you. So, how do you feel the program management can be used in the hybrid environment or Agile environment? And if you don't mind sharing your experience as a program manager and also having PgMP in that environment.
Thank you, Dharam. Let me say an important first concept for the people that are watching us is that in reality, you do not have a black or white answer, because a lot of people now are starting, okay, I switch from waterfall to Agile because now the world is Agile. But the truth is that when I talk with my boss, with my customer, they are not interested in Agile, okay, because on the opposite, they want extreme predictability. Okay, so in reality, what they are really asking in this type of hybrid environment is that they want agility with predictability. Okay, and apparently a lot of people think that it's easy to deliver agility with predictability, but it's the total opposite. Because in this type of situation, the risk is that you have a disorganized chaos. And in a disorganized chaos, it's a mess. You don't get the business result. So in reality, another point is that connected with this is that you do not have any situation where you can play by the book. You read the book on Agile, you go to a training, and you tend to believe that I can go back home, I can get a blank sheet of paper, I created the product vision, my customer is going to pay me on a time and material basis so that I can play Agile in a full environment. The reality is that this is not true. Okay, the reality is that we are going to stay for many years in an environment that is hybrid, not only from a technical project management standpoint, but even in the mentality of our bosses and customers, because they grew up for 30 years with waterfall, and you cannot wash their brains. They look at you, they say Agile, but they intend waterfall. And in my personal experience, if you don't deliver a waterfall type of thinking to them while you talk with Agile with your teams, you are dead. Okay, because you completely lose the connection between the business and the teams. So to answer to your question, hybrid is really the way to go for many years in the future, Dharam.
Great, great, great. So, what kind of expertise you can bring in the hybrid as a program in the hybrid environment as a program manager? What do you may do?
Let's say that I've been the pain that I was describing. I really it's part of my day-to-day job. Okay, I am a program manager in a software development organization inside my company, and we live in an extremely complex environment. You know, an environment that when you read the books should not exist. But this is the reality in a corporate environment because we need to deliver an end-to-end digital solution. And this digital solution is not just one product. You have online application, you have web application, you have cloud-enabled application, you have data science and data mining components. All together, they create value for the customer. When you are in this environment, you have multiple product backlogs because you need to have a product backlog by each type of product, and you need to have a master product catalog, which is basically the overall set of functionality that your product shall deliver. So on top of this means that you also have multiple agile teams because often is impossible to allocate all of the software development capacity in one location. You might not have enough people, enough skills, enough money. So you end up, at the moment, I have Scrum teams in 2 different countries, okay, and I have almost 70 people dispersed across 8 work hours, and I have my master architect in North America. So, and on top of this, you have non-agile teams because some of the things that you are working on are legacy. They work in waterfall mode. You cannot push them in agile. You have multiple countries, which is another ingredient in the puzzle. And often you are not allowed to travel. So you read in the book, team must travel, meet face-to-face. Impossible in a corporate environment. No money to travel, okay? So you need to manage the complexity. You have even multiple operation teams because often the control towers that are managing each of the products are in different countries. One can be in Bangalore, another one in Malaysia, another one in North America. So in this, let's say, extremely complex environment, the role of a program manager is essential. And the reason why for this is that because normally all of this should be coordinated by an overall software product owner, okay. But when the complexity is so high, he cannot deal with all the business requirements, all of the software lifecycle management things that he has to do to sell, to market, to work with salespeople, and the complexity of running a very complex software factory. Because this is what we're talking, it's a real software factory, and this is where the program manager can really play a pivotal role because he's basically ensuring that the capabilities, all of the interconnection, the resources, the money are all available when and where needed to deliver the functionalities. Okay, starting an agile team is not something that you switch the light and you are fully productive. It requires weeks. Who is planning for opening a new team and shutting down a new team? This is the role of a program manager in the modern world. And even when you are not fully allowed to have a project manager all around, the governance role of the program manager is essential and is making really the difference between success and failure.
Yeah, definitely. So we still, as part of the PgMP, we learn a lot of concepts, especially the strategy alignment, the benefit management, governance, and stakeholder engagement, and the program lifecycle. So all these concepts are very, very important, and that can be applied to both agile environment as well as waterfall environment. So, for example, like the strategy alignment. So whatever work you're doing, whether you're building a software or or building anything, you need to have you need to align the project within the program so that whatever you're delivering is strategically aligned with the organization, and you're fulfilling the organization vision and a mission and getting the results for the organization. So very important to use those concepts, what we learn in program management professional exam, PGMP, to how and to first thing whether this particular program is strategically aligned or not. If yes, making sure we continue to be aligned. Next thing
absolutely, yes. And
yeah.
often, as a program manager, you also become a kind of co-product owner, because when you are talking with all the teams, having daily stand-up calls with the world, at the end you are also passing to them what is the strategies that you are following. Or if you see an opportunity bottom up because you are talking with a customer in a country, then the program manager is bringing the strategic opportunity at the top and say, hey, do we have an opportunity? Do we want to do something? Yes, no. So Dharam, yes, the strategic dimension in this organized chaos is extremely important for success.
Yeah. And the next domain we have is benefit management. So in any kind of program, we are looking for benefits. The product owner looking for benefit, organization looking for benefit. So utilizing this concept from PMI from standard from program management, we learn how to identify the benefit, then how to analyze, identify the dependency with the components, a component being project in the agile as well, and how you realize those benefits. Once the benefits realize, you need to transition into operation. So in the agile environment, there are so many releases going on. So that's where there is an ongoing realization of benefit.
You are spot on, Dharam, because the other dimension is to deliver value for the end customer that is paying our salaries. And when you do that, you really need to be smart in identifying what's really important for the customer, okay? And once again, when you have a product that spans multiple countries, it's very, very difficult to make a priority course, okay? Because what is a benefit for someone is not critical for another one, okay? And again, the role of program manager from this standpoint is really to grab the business need from the various markets, okay? And really work at the governance level with the overall product owner of the digital solution, sometimes to really make tough calls, because you can even decide that, in this market for the next 6 months, we are not going to make people extremely happy because we do not have enough resources, money, skills. At the end, you must take a course, and this is our job.
Yeah. And how do you see the stakeholder engagement part? Stakeholder engagement, especially in that kind of environment, because that's very important for a program success.
From a stakeholder engagement, I see two critical dimensions where the program manager can play a role. Actually, three. The first one are the internal stakeholders, okay, including organizations like procurement. In big companies, procurement is really a complex exercise. And if you are not, creating the right engagement with this type of stakeholder, you cannot buy any resource whatsoever, okay?
Yeah.
Then you have the partner companies, okay, or the offshore center leaders, they have an interest in keeping their people busy, either because they want to sell you services or because they want to keep the organization alive. And then you have the final customer, the customer that in each country is playing a role. Now, the role of the program manager, especially because he has the global view, okay, is really to help bridge and pass the right messages, okay, depending on the scenario and the situation. And sometimes it's also helping the people that is really in touch with the ground, so people in Italy or in Vietnam or in Morocco or in the US, because sometimes you play the role of the bad guy, so I am the corporate guy that is enforcing the rule, or sometimes I'm playing the role of, the person that is smoothing the hedges, say, okay, we can have a deal, or we can make a special thing for you. So again, the role of the program manager is extremely important not just in managing directly the interface, but also in, identifying ways to bridge between the different needs at corporate, internal customer and external customer standpoint.
Yeah. So keeping them informed, the relevant information, when to inform, what to inform, very, very important. So we do, if you are keeping them informed and providing right information at right time, they will not having much complaint about you, because they are getting what they are looking for. So first thing, when you identify a customer or a stakeholder, you identify the characteristics, like, what kind of information they need, when they need, in what format they need. So you and your team is providing that information at that time. So they're very, very important to have a detailed stakeholder engagement plan, so you know what exactly you have to do with that particular stakeholder, when to provide, and what kind of engagement strategy they have. So, and the other thing is the governance part within Agile, especially Scrum, where you have multiple teams. So how do you see the domain we talk in the PGMP as the governance important in the Agile environment?
This is really probably the most overlooked part, okay? Because the Agile tools and methodology are not really created to produce reports that your boss or your customer can read. All the Agile tools are really used to monitor the work, and then you throw away. What matters is the final output. But in reality, if you want to produce reports, you need to find ways to use the Agile tools and without adding a lot of overhead, because otherwise people will get pissed off, people will not follow you. You need to find ways to translate what you are getting from the Agile tools in something that you can present to your customer and to your boss, because they want a report. You cannot say, go in the online tool and check the status. They say, I do not understand. Tell me the status, okay? And the governance role from this standpoint is extremely important, because you are able to translate the Agile world in information that the stakeholder and your managers can really work on and take a decision on. Another dimension of governance is also, for example, in terms of enforcing standards. Okay? Enforcing development standard seems a piece of cake, but in a global multi-country world is really complex, because you need to do audit. Okay, you can say to a bunch of Scrum teams, follow these standards. And you can even put a software architect to monitor what they do. But if the software architect is not getting an audit every now and then, fact of life, the quality of your deliverables will not be what you really need. And also another very important element is to continually refine the definition of done. Okay, definition of done is that when a software is ready, okay? And the definition of done is something that can move over time, which means it's done because you have passed your test, it's done because the business analyst has passed this test, it's done because you passed all of the BDD and TDD testing. So the definition of done is another governance element that from a program management standpoint we bring to the party. And this quality assurance, governance, and communication drumbeating really makes a difference, my friend.
Yeah, great. Good. Yeah, so in governance, what we talk about, setting the policies and the procedures and the templates, all kind of things. I know in the Scrum we have a daily meetings. That's part of the governance. Then we have Scrum. They're also meeting weekly or something. Then as a program manager, you need to keep informing your management. So you're not running by yourself, but you have product owner, you have your sponsor, and the product owner sponsor can be the one person. But you have management to keep informed about your success of the program or the Scrum teams working on product. So great. So yeah, thanks Vincenzo for putting light on this very important topic. So the learning we have from program or program management is really helping many organizations to not only utilizing the agile way of doing things, but also getting the work done in a more systematic way and getting the best outcome for the organization, which is strategically aligned. So perfect.
Yeah, and for me, just I want to share with the people who are watching us just two ideas, okay? Against all expectation, in the future, the role of program manager in an agile and even environment will be even more important than what you ever thought in the past, okay? Remember, the program manager makes the difference between a disorganized chaos and organized chaos that deliver business results, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And because of this, there will be many career opportunities as program managers. And if you want to become visible in the market, if you want to make an investment to protect yourself in the future, getting the PMI-PgMP certification is really a good investment of time and money.
Yep. And also when you attended my program, PGMP program, actually I noticed when you started the program versus when you finished the program, your language changed, your the way you're explaining the things has drastically changed. And after getting PGMP, you got more confidence, and you've grown in the organization. That's fantastic. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. And people who are interested to join the program, PGM program, I'm coming to Europe, Frankfurt and Rome and Greece. So anybody can, if you are in Rome, Italy, definitely join this program. Or if you can fly in, why not? You're going to be very interesting days, 3 days for you to learn from me, and Vincenzo will be there. If you want to speak to him, anybody in Italian, he'll be there. He will able to translate my English into, I don't know how good, but anyway. So we will do the best so that you get the best out of from us. So
yeah.
Thank you, Vincenzo. Once again, it was really good to have you on this program, and I hope people get what they're looking for. If they still have any question clarification, they can reach out to me, and my audio they can contact Vincenzo, and collectively we can provide you the required information. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and thank you, Vincenzo.
Thank you, Dharam. It's been a pleasure.